That makes sense.
I mean, I have.
Well, sure, of course you have.
Am I a vampire?
You might
Maybe.
be. I don't know.
Hi,
I
everyone.
don't know. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Elder Elves. My name's a pile of garbage, because that's how I feel. And I'm here with you. Who are you?
Trash Bag Metropolis.
I just
Hi,
came up with like a
how are
whole
you?
animated series for Trash Bag Metropolis.
I used to with an X, I would send like messages like "love trash bag," and that is still my like Netflix like the little name that you can choose. I put trash bag, so it's like welcome back, trash bag. Look at what you've look at what you've been watching, and it's my favorite.
And is it all just like trash and Hallmark movies and?
It's like a
50
garbage
Shades of
man. Yeah. 50
Repo
Shades,
Man.
all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 Shades, 51 Shades, 49 Shades and a half, 49 Shades and a baby.
I'm pretty sure most of it is like She-Ra and like cartoons.
That's true.
I keep getting ads for the new Castlevania coming up.
Is there a new one coming up? Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, there is. Me too. It was really... I was not going to watch it at first because, I don't know. I do like anime, but I have to be in the mood to watch it.
That makes sense.
Like, I just have to be in that frame of mind, I guess. And I watched Castlevania, and it was so good. And I was hearing people hype it, and that makes me even more go, ugh, I don't feel like watching that.
Castlevania is worth the hype.
It is worth 1,000% the hype. So is Arcane, if you guys have heard of it. The other one is like, I've been trying to get people to watch it. It's Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast. It's so... Yeah, it's so good. So fantastic.
Love, Death, and Robots.
And it's... Love, Death, and Robots, yep. And I watched all of She-Ra, and She-Ra was good. I'm trying to think. Kipo.
There's a lot.
There's another. Yeah, there's... Oh, Centaur World.
Yep, Centaur World.
Listen, I did not expect that show to be what it is. And it is... It's not for kids, really.
You like weird shit?
Yeah, weird, random, creepy, so good. It's such a good thing. Colin's kid, actually, I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if Colin's kids watch this. Yep. I'm like, yes, all right. And then made you watch some of it, and you're just like, what is going on?
It is just barely outside of my realm of weird. But that's okay. Everybody has their different standards of weird. As much as I'd like to keep talking about anime.
Yeah, I know. We could keep going. That's another episode for another day.
Totally different show. Show. Welcome back to Tether, where we write each other journal entries 30 years across time. It's a two-person TTRPG, story-based, and we take prompts from a deck of cards, and that prompt tells us what we should write about for the next week. Last week, my character, Jordan, went way back into the past to the beginning of the town, where we find out that Jordan
was bad. Very bad. Did some bad things.
Did some bad things. Sort of started a cult a little bit.
Sort of. Jordan's like, am I the drama? I'm the problem. It's me.
Definitely. It's me. Hello. It's me. Tea time. Yeah, definitely freed a otherworldly being, sort of, and started a cult where the entire town was more or less a part of drawing new blood in exchange for a thriving township, and for immortality, because that's what this creature is offering them, as long as you give it the flesh. So, that was kind of that. My prompt was I broke something in the town, and I broke a water basin that held a pool, which was a portal to another sort of in-between world. And then we drew your prompt, which was the Ace of Clubs, and that was...
me learning a major flaw that I can use to defeat the terror. And you try to fight it. So I tried, but I failed. And what is a flaw? Like, why didn't you succeed in defeating the terror? What did you learn from this? That was the original prompt. And let's see if I did it this week, yeah?
Let's do it.
I wrote quite a lot, so let's see if I can do this in 24 minutes.
And go.
And go. August 9th, 1993. Dear Jordan, I broke the mirror in Cutter's house. I was so afraid I would be caught leaving the house, but I was careful. I left when they were asleep. The house on Pulpit Hill felt smaller this time. I didn't go through a window or through the back door. The front door was still open, waiting for me. When I faced the big mirror, I only saw myself. The terror was not here. When it broke, I should have made noise, but it didn't. My papa's hammer sunk into the glass before it shattered, and it wasn't glass. It rained down. It spilled across the floor and drained through the floorboards. I snuck back into my grandparents' house. I thought they would hear me, but their door was closed in the hallway. In the morning, my papa left without saying goodbye, and Nana seemed worried. I tried to distract her. I asked how she met him. We both had small families, she said, that were very close. I used to watch him run to school. He was older and captain of the football team. I never thought he would like a scholar like me, but he did. Is that how my mom and dad met? My Nana got quiet. Similar story, she said. This is a small town, Charlotte. A small town with big romances that can last lifetimes. When my papa came back, he was very angry, and I know that what I had done was known. He told us that someone broke into the old Cutter place, damaged some property. He didn't understand why. It's historic. My Nana said it could have been some drunk, maybe some college kid. My papa said a kid is probably right, but didn't look at me. Until Sunday, I spent time out in the yard or with my Nana gardening and canning some tomatoes, trying to figure out how to stop all of this. On Sunday morning, he told us over breakfast that there would be a meeting after Mass. The hope, Papa began to say with kindness, but it changed as he continued, is that whoever did it will confess. I wasn't confessing anything, Jordan. I saw it in his dark eyes that he knew that too. Last time the church felt too big and empty. This time it was small and packed. The deacon gave what was, my Nana whispered to me, a fire and brimstone sermon, but I didn't listen. The pews were too hard, and honestly, it was very boring. I saw Mrs. Williams in the back row. I tried to wave at her, but my Nana stopped me. Leave Miss Angela Green alone, honey. She's trying to pay attention. I thought she was Mrs. Williams. My Nana said, was. She is a green. When it was all over, they pulled the kids in one by one. There weren't many of us, but I was the last. I kept ducking the adults, trying to find a way to leave. My papa was stern with me before I went in. He told me never to lie to a holy person, to be honest because God was watching. I knew that wasn't true. The deacon had a small office. It was smaller because of how big the furniture was. When I sat down, he smiled and asked why I didn't take communion. I told him that I wasn't baptized. He smiled wider. He looked younger, but felt like an old young man. His eyes were 2 black beads set in a rat's face. He poured a glass of thick, clear liquid, offered it to me. Are you thirsty? No. He got up to walk around the room, and I followed his path. In the corner near the door, I saw a mirror. Not the ones you described, but similar to the one in the Cutter house. I know. This move has been difficult. Sometimes people act out because they don't know how to say they are sad and need a friend. It is hard, I told him, but I have made a friend, and I have friends. He leaned on his desk. Do you? I got up. I moved away from him. I took the glass with me. You know I do. I was trying to think of a way to get out of there. Why don't you want to be part of this community? He asked. Because it's wrong. Your father didn't think so. He wanted to raise you here, but your mother took you from this place, from safety. But she saw the benefits of raising a child here. Isn't that why you are back? Sorry, my handwriting is the devil. No, this is just for a little while. She will forget you even exist. They all do. I saw the terror. I saw the monster inside. It was coming to the surface. No, my mom loves me. Not as much as herself. Think of what we can accomplish together. No. He started walking towards me. Maybe he had been slowly coming, and I just saw him. They all have said no. And as you will see, time is what makes them say yes. I threw the glass as hard as I could at the mirror. I was pretty proud of myself. My dad taught me how to throw. It shattered like the last, but the liquid in the glass joined it before it splattered on the floor, a great mess of water that evaporated as soon as it found itself free. He was angry. He grabbed my wrist hard and yanked me to him. Our faces were so close I could see the darkness swimming in his eyes. Break every mirror, Charlotte Cutter. But I have them all. I am here. This is mine. My parents rushed in when they heard the glass break. He said that I was just clumsy, that these things happen. My papa stayed behind as my Nana walked me to the car. I didn't know my dad's last name was Cutter. I told her. She asked how I knew that, as if she and Mom had tried to hide it. I told her, Troy Waters, the deacon, told me. Waters? She questioned. You mean Walker? She shook her head and gave a little laugh. I don't know what was said in the office, but I do know I was grounded. Where will I go? I told them angrily. My papa took my bike, no TV, lots of chores. It has given me time to think of a plan for us. All of this has led to right now. As I wrote this all down in my grandparents' basement, I found under the stairs a mirror, an old one, covered in a sheet just like the deacon's, one of those stand-up ones. I touched this glass and it became water under my fingers. I know I should have stayed where I was, but I went into it like Alice. I didn't see what you saw. Instead, I saw a room with mirrors. 2 were broken. One behind me was glowing, and the others were like windows. I looked through the other 3. One looked into a room I had seen before, your parents' room. It was empty. One looked into the study. Lots of books, messy, like the library. One looked into a very fancy room with a fireplace. It looked like one of those parlor rooms in old movies. When I turned around, and another mirror in the center of the room rose up. It looked like the one you told me about. I didn't go near it, and it didn't look right. It looked diseased, like it was crumbling. I went back to the glowing mirror and was able to walk right back through into the basement I saw. This is how the terror moves between. When I returned, I saw writing on the pages I had started to write on. It was your words. Being close to the other mirror helped, I think, because it was 5 days after the last time. I didn't want to read everything you wrote. I had been so mad that I wasn't being helpful, but you were the one that isn't. You were selfish. I thought you were my friend. But now I see you are just like them. And I am now alone. The terror needs people to want it. It feeds them whatever the mirrors are made of to be able to move into them. I will find the mirror you built, Jordan Murphy, even if it means you can't come home. Charlie Cutter.
Oh boy. Okay, so now we got some stuff.
Yep.
Now there's another mirror portal into a transporter room.
That's right. I brought you
all over the place.
Yeah. But originally I said, even if it means I can't bring you home. And I was like, no, fuck you. Yeah, I was thinking, if you go through if you were to go through one of these other mirrors that don't have all what would that be like?
Yep.
And then I was thinking about I'm a nerd, right? I play Dragon Age, and I was thinking about the Illuvian mirrors that you can slide through, and it brings you to a whole mess of other, and they might be up or down, and all the other role playing video games I've played where you break things and then you go through the astral plane and it's broken there and you're kind of trapped. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring that little element. So as she shuts down the mirrors, what is that going to look like in that world, right? And will that, if she goes through the bad mirror, will bring her to the origin?
Yeah, I like that. Ooh, man. Yeah, so we're kind of in the home stretch now. After this prompt that we're about to pull kind of takes us into the last home stretch.
Correct.
And now we're kind of full on adversaries.
That's right. Point. We went from
pen pal buddies.
We went from friends to enemies.
We weren't even frenemies. We went straight from friend to enemies. We skipped that whole thing.
We sure did.
Okay. That's interesting.
All right.
I like everything you did there. I think it's the addition of her name being Cutter is that's surprising. That was a good run because we hadn't established her name.
Correct.
So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes. Ooh, it is a Sace. 6 of spades. Whoop. Oh, here you go. A rumor turns out to be true, and that shakes you to your core. What is the rumor? How did you find out it is true? And why could it spell disaster for the town?
All right.
I will say this was a hard write. I had like a bunch of elements that I wanted to get in. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. Sorry, my bad. That's a little background vocals.
Dogs of hell.
Dogs of hell. It was hard. It was a hard write, and then because I wanted to, like, how do I respond to all that? Like, oh my god, and then go, well, thanks for all that info. I'm gonna do this, but I wanted to follow up on what I had written, so I wanted her to not learn it right away.
No, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same for me because there's a lot to wrap up in these next few things. So we're kind of we're following the prompts, but we're also kind of wrapping up our own stories, which is, I don't know, interesting and challenging. But that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah, because you already set up my ending in a way. You know, this book has to go into... This book is going to end up in a gas station underneath something, you know? So.
And when and where and how. So. Yeah, I don't know. That's very interesting. It's going to be a fun few episodes to write on. And then we'll be wrapped up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and then we will be going through some other RPGs that are similar, and in terms of structure, I think, and we'll be able to bring you some more content. We might do a little in between, like let's talk about topics, and then go right into another writing session.
Yeah, we'll see what we feel
give ourselves a little mental break before we dive back into it again. And then maybe you guys, if you love it, will start subscribing more and getting the word out that, you know, that there are some people doing, you know, taking these little RPG elements and giving them life, so you can try it too. If you're nervous about starting something with a friend, or you want to do something with a friend and you're not quite sure what, and you want something different, this is such a great challenge.
Yeah, this is an awesome place to start. Speaking of, if you do like it, and if you want to, please subscribe or follow us wherever you're listening or watching or whatever, because that's how the algorithm helps other people find us. You can also talk to people in real life. That's cool too. That helps a lot. If you are subscribed, you'll get notifications when we post stuff. It's usually Tuesdays, and we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. That all comes out at the same time. And then podcast is the next day, video on demand, all that stuff. You can find me at colincarlton.com or on the less horrible social media sites at Colin Carlton VO. What about you?
You can find me typically on TikTok, viewing videos. No, posting content of my cat mostly, and me trying to pet her. and her running away from me or biting me or whatever. You can also find me on other social media as Obscurabrasion. I do mess around with the Elder Elves TikTok, trying to make content there. If you want to say hey, please do. And share our videos, and we do talk to you guys. So if you do message us, we do get back to you and have a chat.
Now my dogs are going crazy.
I know, I heard that. It was nice. It was a nice addition.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we will see you next week. Enjoy.